Well, welcome back to another episode of LorcanaChats. I'm your host, Chris, aka Questing for Lore, and today we're doing things a little differently. There's been a lot going on in the last few days in the Lorcana community, so a group of us wanted to take some time just to be together, share how we're feeling about things, and look forward to the future of the game and what we think is coming. So join me and Sarah, LorcanaLibrarian, Sierra, LoreIllumineer, Enchanted Kim, Jeff from AdditionalInk, and Lorcana Thanos in this fun and a little chaotic episode. Let's get to it. Well, hello everyone. Oh my goodness. I think this is the largest group that I've had in conversation on my channel before. This is either going to go amazingly well or it's going to be absolute chaos, but hopefully somewhere in between. But yeah, hi. So let's get started with some introductions. Sarah, you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. You know me as the Lorcana Librarian or Sarah. I'm a TCG judge. I love to judge Lorcana specifically, and you might have seen me at some DLCs. And also, I host a podcast, The Lore Library, which I'm excited because we have relaunched it. And by the airing of this, you will see our new episode with my co host, Annalise, also a judge. So, very exciting times. And we have a podcast all about the lore of Lorcana and Disney parks and how they relate to tournament play. So, very apt to have me on board for this because I feel like that kind of just weaves into everything that I'm all about. So, I'm excited because Jason Lorcana Thanos is here, my cohort in crime of like Avengers Campus. So I'm gonna
Yes.
pop off to him because he has all his pop figures, and we're gonna do some popcorn reading, as it were, and we're gonna popcorn off to Jason. So he's gonna follow me up. Let's go.
All right. Hey everybody, Sarah said my name is Jason, aka Lorcana Thanos, the Mad Tite of the Illumineer. So I'm a competitive player that focuses on the casual social element of the game, and primarily I love doing themed deck profiles as much as I possibly can. Lately, I like to rant, and I like to rank stuff as much as I possibly can. So, and I'm going to throw it over to Jeff wearing a shirt from Robin Hood, who's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Oh, thank you, sir. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff from AdditionalInk. We are a newer YouTube channel. We do a lot of gameplay videos, couple podcast type videos. We try to provide like this high quality gameplay, and we're just still kind of finding our groove. I'm just happy to be here and hang out with everybody. I'm gonna throw it to Sierra.
Hey guys, I'm Sierra. All of my channel is LoreIllumineer on everything, and I'm kind of new to TCGs, so Lorcana is my first. And I'm a really horrible player who likes to pop into random events and be like, "Hey, can I play with you?" But I'm here to, mainly open packs and join the community, and yeah, so that's me. And I will shoot it to Kim.
Hello. I'm Kim, Enchanted Kim. You probably see me all over Instagram, especially. Sometimes I'm on X and TikTok, and sometimes on Discord, especially the Love to Lore Discord. I focus on mainly the social side of Lorcana and the girly pop side of Lorcana, where I make lots of content featuring, some fun Lorcana Disney bounds, theme decks, fun events I either create or go to. And yeah, just super excited to be here.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Yeah, I appreciate the round robin introductions there. Okay, so I do want to start off. We are recording this on Wednesday evening. Today there was chaos. I do want to recognize this. We are not going to talk about the leaks and the contents of them, but early this morning, something was released. That was, released obviously early before the main event next week. Yeah, like I said, not going to be discussing the details of those. Instead, what we're going to be kind of focusing on is, looking forward. Looking forward to Reign of Jafar, looking forward to Fabled, looking forward to what we want this community to be in the future. So, but I do want to start off with Reign of Jafar since that's our next kind of major thing. Actually, before I get to that, I do want to touch on one other major piece of controversy. Worlds. So that's something that the entire community was looking forward to. I think everybody was hoping it would be the big party. We found out today from an official Ravensburger source that it is a closed event. It will be only the competitors. So I know I'm personally disappointed. How do y'all feel about that?
We weren't invited to the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I manage a team Maelstrom. Go Maelstrom.
Mhm.
And I have 2 players that are competing, so I was fully prepared to go cheer them on from side events and whatnot. So there's definitely a gut punch, I have to say.
It definitely, like I said, it was. We were all expected to go celebrate the big party, And honestly, it's been a while since we've had a DLC, so you haven't seen everybody in so long, right? Unless you've been going to some of these other tournaments and things like that. It sucks. It will be fun to watch still, I believe. And then hopefully DLC season starts really quickly or whatever they have planned next, so that it'd be great to get out there again.
Yeah. Here's hoping we get DLC news on Tuesday. I'm really
Yeah.
hoping. I think that would go a long way towards kind of rebuilding some of this, this trust.
I mean, people all want to get together as a community, which I find really refreshing. I love that our community is so vibrant and positive that we all just want to get together and hang out. So that's like something really great to take away from it, is to know that we're all so invested and we just like deeply want to share the love of the game with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. I was really hoping to see everybody. We only go to one. And so I feel like hopefully the rest of the communities, even if it's just in their own, market areas, they, maybe do watch parties or, we can still figure out a way to still hang together,
Yeah, it's tough. I've gone to I think 3 DLCs with Sarah, especially, like we've traveled together even. And it's just like each DLC just felt like a little party to hang out with everyone. And I think, was it 3 DLCs and then going to nationals or continentals, North America continentals. So it is like a
North
pretty big
American Disney Championship.
championship. Oh my goodness, the official
Disney
name.
Lorcana North
name.
American Championship.
It's been as we said, it's been a while. I forgot the name. So it's just disappointing, like especially to like work them and like really see, all the community like working like info point, especially where it's like I am one of the first people that you see when like you come in, and like interacting with like majority of the people initially. So it is just like, oh, really weird to like at this point be like, okay, I'm probably not going to work this event because they don't need me because it's a closed event. There's no side events and registration really needed, for a large amount of people. But I will say though, like something really positive about, despite all the weirdness of today, is a lot of the community saw what happened today, especially, the information being spread as a bad thing, and everyone respected it and was like, no, we're not going to reshare it because we want to respect Ravensburger and a lot of the people that worked on it and, was super excited and, still trying to encourage, like, still be excited for Tuesday, which is like, to me, just shows that like our community, like Sarah said, is just so positive and trying to enforce like the best for our community and not, spreading this information like a lot. Like it was just so impressive to see in so many discords like, hey, don't share that info, like we are not going to allow that. And I'm like, that is amazing. Like it makes me feel like I'm part of the best community then.
I can't tell you the number of times that I saw the "We don't talk about leaks" Bruno card go past in my feed today.
So good.
Yeah. Then
The amount of vegetable leaks I saw today was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was good.
Then I'll say for myself, as someone who's been talking about this game since the initial announcement, I've been doing this in various forms for a long time. Like I've been dreaming about Worlds for a long time, and this is like a really big gut punch. Quite honestly, they're like, because I'm in Atlanta, so I can drive to Orlando. I do it all the time. So to be able to go back and like because I haven't gone to a DLC since Vegas. So
Vegas is
I
good.
I haven't been a part of that for a long time. So it honestly kind of sucks, to be quite honest with you.
I do feel that. Like I skipped the nationals because I was like,
Mhm.
oh, it's on the other side of the country because I'm in Georgia as well, and Orlando's right down the road. It's about 4 or 5 hour drive, and now I like kind of regret that I didn't go.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna wait for Disney World.
I mean, yeah, it sounded like a bunch of people had the same idea, and I'm just like, ugh, like that's just tough.
Yeah, I
I
think
think a big part of that is because they did such a big presentation at D23,
right.
and it
Mhm.
felt like a promise, which for Disney adults, anyone who's a Disney adult seasoned enough knows to take anything from D23 with a grain of salt. It's almost this, they always say it's a blue sky endeavor, and then a lot of things are usually going to fall apart. We've seen a ton of the things released from D23 films, Disney Plus projects that have gotten canceled. We don't have the Mary Poppins attraction at Disney World. Not that I'm sour about that, but I mean, it's like honestly, I never expected what was promised at D23 to be a promise, but I can see how people who are new to Lorcana would think that that was a promise of an event and have just been holding their breath waiting for these dates to be able to go and do it, and to be deeply disappointed that they felt the communication. I think what it is that it's one thing to be like, okay, it fell apart, but it's another thing to be like, you've known for how long and you didn't let us know so we could just like
Yeah.
move on with our summer plans. I think is the deepest amount of betrayal people are feeling.
Mhm. Yeah, and that timing piece is interesting. You almost have to wonder if like it was something that kind of fell apart at the last minute, right? Because we heard
Mhm.
that they shared the dates with the players like a month or two ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they were holding out, hoping that everything would kind of fall into place, and then all of a sudden it didn't. So then they had
Yeah.
to kind of get out in front of it, but it was like super short notice.
Yeah.
And they add to it. What's his name? Greg. I forget his last name. That the new head of marketing over there at Ravensburger,
Tito.
or for Tito.
Oh.
That's it. Or for Lorcana, I think, just for Lorcana. I'm not sure if it's all of Ravensburger, but
Yeah, director of communications,
there you
right?
go. Yeah. But it was great. Like the response to it was great to see him
Yeah.
immediately hop out there and be like, this ad hoc live stream. I want to talk about this stuff. We see it. It's not great. But
Yeah,
and then
I
we
have to
have this
share a quick
other.
story about that,
Oh yeah,
actually,
go for
really
it.
fast.
Uh-huh.
That was really funny. It was so I was like in a phone call with Melissa, Missy Enchanted, and we were just talking about Lorcana, all things about our feelings this morning, and just like Lorcana content ideas and trying to be positive. And in the middle of our phone call, I get a notification that Disney Lorcana is live on Twitch, and I'm just like, did you just get that notification? Like, what just happened? And she's like, wait, yeah, I did. What's going on? Like, is this another one of those like testing things? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm gonna hang up now because I'm gonna go see what this is. Bye.
Yeah.
Fastest I've ever hung up on a phone call.
Like, I'm sorry, I have something more important.
I mean, she was doing the same thing, so we were
Yeah. Well.
mutually like, we're good.
Yeah. No, it's great to see, and hopefully that kind of stuff continues, right? That's what we want to see because that's one of the big complaints that everybody's had for forever. We were joking about it felt like Ravensburger had kind of ghosted us there for a little while. It's like you don't really hear from him, and hopefully this is a trend that, you know, maybe it'll be short little bursts like this. Maybe it'll be more frequent, events, not just, for each of the new sets. It'll be, some other kind of presentation or something. But yeah, I really hope it continues because, I think that would be great for the game and the community.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. It's good to see. They've hired on a couple of new people over there. For organized play and this and I look forward to it. Honestly, I look forward to seeing what comes of it and what's going to be the future, even just the short term. And really looking forward to Tuesday. So even with
Yeah.
all the things that came out, it'll be interesting to see what else there is. But yeah,
I'm excited for like new formats and whatnot, things that weren't necessarily on the vegetable leaks. But just like, yeah, the things that we haven't heard that we could still like be hopeful for, you know what I mean? Just really looking for. I'm excited for the Fabled set. I've been trying to wrap my mind around it. I'm hoping it's parks related in some way, holding out eternal hope for park-based cards. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it. Well, and we have reveal season for Reign of Jafar coming up starting next week, starting
Next
with
week.
the first announcements and everything. So it'll be really interesting to see, what's coming. Because we kind of have a vague idea. We know Jafar's the big bad guy, and we've got the Illumineer's quest and stuff, and we can figure there's probably going to be more Vanish. There's going to be stuff like that, but. I'm curious, is there anything in particular you're hoping for in this next set?
I feel like so you know how we got the D23 cards that people just started to get? That have like the cool like sand outline to the card.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's gonna be a theme. What a bunch of cards, like maybe like with the legendaries or something.
Okay.
That's like a
Ooh.
little
That could
theory
be
crafting
cool.
I have going.
Yeah.
There's like some like sort of sand artwork type thing added into the cards.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
This guy.
Yeah, it's nice that they've kept a little variety, right? They haven't like dramatically changed some of the cards. But like for the legendaries for this last set where it was kind of a little bit embossed, it was just a subtle change, but it really, I think it added to the quality of the card,
I just want to see Darkwing Duck. That's all. I did not place it.
I'm right
No,
there.
not at
with
all.
you. Yeah.
You had the prop ready, huh?
Let's get
Ready.
dangerous.
Well, we've already got Gizmo Duck, right? Or
Yeah.
Gizmo Duck and the suit,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, with the reboot, they're all in the same universe now. So
Yeah. There you go. I could see it.
I'm excited if we see new characters. I'm always trying to figure out what new characters we're going to see. So if we're talking about Reign of Jafar, I mean, is there any characters we haven't seen yet? Have we seen the dad yet from?
Sultan?
Yeah.
No, I don't
we've
think he
seen
has a card yet.
Jasmine's dad.
Yeah.
We got Triton. We got to get all the daddies on board, right?
A daddy tech going on.
A daddy
Daddy
Genie Jafar.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to me about theme decks, Jason. We got with the old daddies. What do we got there?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm qualified to build that deck.
We're gonna throw Grand Pappy in there.
Maurice could show up. I mean, we got them all.
There you go.
Come on.
Amber Sapphire Trident item locations.
Okay, there we go.
Go get on that. New video
Somebody call
dropping
Rabbit
next
Bird.
week.
Next week, yeah.
I mean, that could be like your Father's Day special. I don't
There
know.
you go.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
There you
there
go.
you
Thank you,
go.
Kim.
But you have to call it a daddy tech, though. It can't
Oh,
Please.
okay.
Well, yeah, because you have like Ariel, who's like, "Daddy, I love him."
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, outside of Genie Jafar, everybody knows I'm waiting on this guy up here. I want Mr. Ted. I'm gonna keep bugging them until they give him to me. I think he's coming in Fabled, quite honestly. But
Oh yeah.
See that? I can see that.
Yep. Sierra, was there anything you were looking forward to or wanting to see?
I mean, I'm still waiting for Pocahontas, but we know hopefully 2026 she's coming there, right? But honestly, there's so many different ones that we're still kind of like, where are they at? I would love to see a Dumbo, hopefully
baby Dumbo.
I don't know, kind of the older genre.
What about Oliver and Company?
Ooh.
Why should I worry?
Going with the classics. Yeah.
Some good
Now,
songs in there.
I thought this is a stupid moment, but I thought the penny was from Oliver and Company.
Oh.
The penny we got to reveal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You
Not
did.
that penny, the other one. There's like a blue one, right? From
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Oh,
Yeah, from the Rescuers.
yeah.
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 That's Penny the Orphan with Ward.
Yeah.
I love the distinction of like we have Penny and a Penny the Orphan, and it's like
Yeah.
got a reminder, I guess.
Yeah.
She's why Madame Medusa is so evil. It's that poor girl.
What was the name of the reptile in the second Rescuers movie? I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Gosh.
That'd be a good card.
Oh yeah. The Rescuers Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where's Lorcana Bell when we need her?
I know, that's what I was like. I can see him talking to the bird. Who is
I'm
this
finding my
one?
urge to Google right now, but
Yeah.
No, we can't use Google. We're not true
No.
fans.
That's cheating.
It's cheating.
I
Well-
can't remember the name.
Yeah. That's a good one. That would be a good one. It's a good villain.
Yeah, there are no shortage of villains in the Disney world. So yeah.
If they bring Darkwing Duck, there is a world of rich villains. Megavolt, all of them.
Oh my gosh. I grew up watching that one, and so to hear all those names again, it's like, yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, who knows?
So when we're talking about Reign of Jafar, let's say Jafar is like facing off against somebody. I think it might be the Wayward Sorcerer Mickey Mouse. I think this might be the culmination of that like fight that we started to see in the first chapter. Because Mickey Mouse, on every card, he is a hero, except for on Wayward Sorcerer, he is just a sorcerer. He is not a hero. So which I find very interesting. And so I'm curious if like who is Jafar going, like obviously the Illumineers like Shanzay and right. Are we gonna see are we gonna see new ones? Oh my gosh.
That could be interesting.
Arcasia could come back. He'll fight Jafar.
I
Yeah.
was like,
have
where's our
to-
Arcasia card?
I know. I have to admit, I was kind of underwhelmed about the whole Arcasia piece of it. I was hoping for more like actual cards, or something like that. But now
I was hoping we'd see Olaf. He'd be on land. We haven't seen Olaf for 2 sets because he was at sea, and I just have a theory is because he'll melt. But
Oh, poor
He doesn't
Olaf.
have his flurry.
I know we haven't seen him since Shimmering Skies. Anyway,
You know what? That's what I want for a card. The little, what are they called? The little
the
snow,
snow babies.
the snow baby. What are they called?
I don't know what they're called.
The-
Lorcana Bell.
They're not-
Right.
Marshmallow's the big one.
No, snow. Yeah,
Mhm.
marshmallow's the big
Yeah,
one.
big
They're like snow bees or
Mini
something.
marshmallows.
Something like that.
They're called like snow bees or something. But it's like that because they were on the enchanted artwork with Marshmallow for
Right.
Shimmering
Yeah.
Skies. And I was like, but where's their own card? Like imagine like if we had an archetype of like how we have puppies, but with those because they're
Oh my gosh.
adorable. Like
Yes.
that,
A
and
snow
you could
horde.
have like unlimited amounts of them. It'd be great.
They build on each other.
That idea.
I'd also be down for some more experiment cards, like some Leroy and some Angel.
True.
Oh yes,
Mm.
Ruben,
yes.
give me like an item, like a sandwich item.
I'm all for this stuff. Like, bring me more food once. That'd be so
Still trying to make sardine can work.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know the
Spaghetti
the
dinner.
Smorkana folks would be happy
Spaghetti
with more.
dinner.
Lorcana. Yes, Chris.
Yeah, and we've got the new Illumineer's quest that's got I forget who said it earlier that it actually has a real box this time instead of having to find something to put it in like a trove or something like that. But it's interesting to look at the stuff that's in it. It's got the scenario deck for
That's-
Jafar, the 2-player decks.
Mhm.
There's a playmat like last time, which that kind of makes sense for this kind of board gamey kind of thing. But then there's all sorts of.
But I
other
wonder if
stuff.
it'll be nicer though, because it's in a nicer box. If it'll be similar to like kind of like the material that you
Mhm.
have if you played Villainous, it's like this like cardboard
Mhm.
like playmat type thing. It's like what if because it's in a nicer box they have like something similar to that to use? I don't know.
Well, you said there's 2 ways to play it, right? Like the item description from a while back, like you can face Jafar head on or sneak in and steal the crown. So maybe the mat has something to do with like board game moving, things like
Okay.
that.
That could be
Ooh.
interesting.
I just don't want the paper playmat anymore, if I'm going to be
No.
honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the one of the other things that's in there is 2 cards featuring battlegrounds, which I guess it's kind of
Oh.
similar to some
Yeah.
of the stuff that that was in Ursula's, right?
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
the battleground are the difficulty cards, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
probably what
scenarios
those
or
are.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I wonder if it's I mean, maybe like at a certain battleground, Jafar gets some kind of advantage and you get a disadvantage, or
Mhm.
something one way or the other. That could be interesting.
Mhm.
On cards.
Is there a prize card like there was in Ursula's?
There is one
Yeah.
listed.
There is.
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Ooh.
A
Yeah.
victory
My
card.
question is it going to be playable? Like, is it actually going to be worthwhile?
Well,
Are you
is it
telling me
gonna
half
be-
a Haxwell crown is not playable for you?
Guys, I'll just tell you right now, it's Fortespeare. That's it.
It's
It's
Okay.
Fortespeare.
No, it's a new version of Hyro.
Yeah.
There you
Altar
go.
Hiram, yeah.
a Floodborne
Oh,
hero.
But I
poor
wonder though,
Hiram.
actually, if it's going to be a Fabled card or if it's something for Jafar, because we're in a weird thing too, like jumping ahead, just like they're saying that like we're entering like the next chapter, and they're
Mhm.
I feel like alluding to that starting with Fabled. That
Mm,
it's like, oh, is this going to be a prize card that sticks with this set, or is it going to be something like what Ursula's the prize card was a card for the next set, which was Shimmering
Mhm.
Skies.
Probably, maybe, right?
I don't know. I'm theory crafting over
so.
here.
I mean, it was kind of an
Everyone-
interesting little like tidbit, right? Because nobody really knew it.
Mm.
You just kind of, I guess, expected it to be something for the current set, because the other cards in the Illumineer's quest were for the current set. There were special
Mm.
cards, but it wasn't like they were all future cards too. But I
I think
bet no
Ursula's
stick
that
with
was
it.
got a future card, right? With Ursula's.
Yeah, it was Hexwell was set 5 or for set 5.
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant the decks, or the decks that they gave you in there. Those were all
Oh.
cards
Yeah.
for the current
Yeah,
set.
those were
It was-
all.
Oh,
yeah.
we could have
So-
more alternate art cards in the decks that come with it too. Just like
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
thinking too.
cool.
Like the bend to my will card, right? He has that. He's doing the bend to my will, giving, and that was like alluding to the set. I feel like, and I'm wondering if we're going to see the repercussions of the people that have been bent to Jafar's will.
Mm. That could be interesting. Let's see what else is in here. There's a reforged crown tile. I'm not sure. No idea what
Board
that would
game.
be for.
moving spaces.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
have
yeah.
tile.
That's true. Okay, I could see that. Because they also have separate like trackers and stuff too. There's 5 lore tracker tokens, which seems like a
Hmm.
Okay.
interesting number. So I guess you could potentially have 5 people playing. I don't know. I don't know
Up
why
to
they
4
would include
players,
5
yeah.
of them.
Maybe it's like 4 players and then 1 for like
For Jafar.
Jafar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, could see that. Yeah. And then of course the random thing that they threw in was a oversized Jafar card. I guess it's kind of the, like the Ursula, the bigger
Yeah.
one.
Like the Ursula, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can visualize your opponent.
Yeah. Which I
Yeah.
mean is kind of cool. It's interesting, to
Yeah.
have like set up while you're playing, but I don't know. I mean, it's just another thing, I guess, but yeah, I'll be really interested to see how it works, how the, what the rules are and everything. The Ursula's one was fun. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
hard.
It was also hard to find for a while, right? I wonder if the
Yes.
Reign of Jafar will be easier to find, and with the packaging, it will like be more for mass markets, and more mass markets will discover Lorcana because of it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my hope.
And
More
see it on
people in the
shelf
game,
next
let's
to
go.
Villainous, Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. I always saw the Ursula one next to like the TCG section and never in the gaming section, and so I'm
Like in the
hoping
board game. Yeah.
yeah, like a crossover with that.
Yeah, I think they would.
If the
they would
if
do
the
really
LGS
well.
was smart, they would put it over there, right? Yeah.
Right.
I think maybe it'd probably be more effective like in your big box stores like Target, like
Yeah.
board games.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did with Gateway, right? It was put in like the board game
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know, Gateway came in a very nice box that I also enjoy. That it's like, oh, this is a.
Yeah.
I like shiny boxes.
Well, there's something to be said for having it where, you know, the game is kind of, you know, one piece, right? And you don't have to like, you know, do some janky, you know, deck box kind of mischievousness with it to try to, you know, keep it all safe. But you know, I kind of hope that maybe they bring a little bit of the villainous quality, you know, like the board gamey kind of quality to it, and kind of mash it up with the Lorcana, you know, the cards and everything. I think that could be really interesting.
Well, and do you think that like the price point of the villainous is much cheaper than like the Ursula or the Jafar? And I feel like you do see a difference in the quality, and then you know, even in in the villainous, they get a promo card, so it makes you, even if you may not be like that type of player, I'm still gonna go buy it because there's a promo card in there. You know, like.
Speaking of promo cards and crossover products, we haven't heard anything in a while, but I'm excited for those puzzles coming out.
Same.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so ready.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a store, I'm like looking, and I'm like, maybe they came out already. They snuck them out.
Are you kidding?
Get 'em
That
out
would be
before the
all
deadline.
over the socials when those things come out.
Right.
Everybody would be talking about
Oh
them.
man.
I just
Like
want an
once
art
those
book.
puzzles come out, I'm gonna enter my like speed puzzle era. Just saying.
I'll join your team.
Yeah, you'll join my team.
I'm on board.
Got it. I was like, imagine that's like a side event at a DLC. Like,
Yep.
ugh,
Oh, that could
like
be
I would
cool.
stop working the DLCs and just participate in like all the side events.
Did
Like
you
I told
see-
people, the minute we have theme decks, multiplayer, and puzzling, like it's over. That's my competitive era.
Did you see the big puzzle they did in Germany?
Yeah, that was so cool. I was like, we have to do that soon over here in North America. Like I
Yeah.
was like, that's so cool. Is you combine like, you know, Ravensburger is known for their puzzles. So it's just like I don't know why we haven't had that yet. I was like, we can play villainous at DLCs, but we can't like build puzzles.
I didn't even know that speed puzzling was even a thing. And my grandmother, she's like in her 80s, she sits there and plays like this 1,000-piece puzzle like in an afternoon. And I'm like, Grandma, we need to get you over here.
Go enter a tournament.
Yeah.
No, speed puzzling, like if you haven't watched this YouTube channel called Karen Puzzles, it is so like I didn't realize that there was like this whole like imagine like DLCs for Lorcana that exists for like speed puzzling that's sponsored by Ravensburger.
Wow.
And I was like, that's
Really?
crazy. And like they'll have like worlds in Italy and it's a whole thing. And I'm like, why don't we have that?
Yeah, it's crazy. They're very, very like focused, and like everyone's got a job to do, and it's cool.
While I'm digging out edge pieces slowly.
Yeah.
like there'll be drama too. Like if your like puzzle piece like slides off the table, like you get penalties. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Not me trying to figure out how to judge that event. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Okay, they show judges, and I watched one of those videos because I'll watch these videos while I'm doing like my card sorting because they're like hour-long vlogs, and I'm like, I'm entertained and this is peaceful while I'm sorting my cards. And I've seen like judges do stuff on the stream, and I'm like, this is very Sarah coded, very professional.
Oh man. Be in my puzzle era.
In between DLCs, you're just
Yeah.
like judging
Yeah.
Ravensburger
Yeah.
side events or Ravensburger puzzling tournaments.
For real.
Well, and Jeff,
That's
I
what-
know
That's what we're
there
gonna
was-
hear at the Lorecast. Puzzle
Yeah,
events.
puzzling. Yeah. So Jeff, I know we were talking before. There was something that you wanted to talk about that has been something that's been kind of covered in the community, and look, as the game grows, is something that is more and more people are talking about.
Yeah.
Doing the rotations. I'm interested to hear your opinions on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of speculation within the community about rotations. We're not going to talk about any vegetables or anything. But, I mean, I think it's an expected course for a TCG, right? It's very common. They typically go a couple different routes, either like ban list or rotations. We've been talking about it locally at here at AdditionalInk because we've been trying to plan a couple episodes or whatever. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it can really open up some space for some cards that haven't seen play to shine. And I'm also very excited for, like, with rotation usually comes some sort of eternal format. And that's personally so I can have my Fortisphere back in Hiram. But so we've been talking about that, and then when you look at like the current decks that are like been around forever, some of those decks are like 80, 90, 100%, you know, wherever you want to draw that line in rotation. So, you know, we've even talked about the possibility of like reprints in the past, but who knows how they're going to do all that stuff. You know, is it going to be like other card games where they kind of do like a base set every year where they kind of reprint a couple things here and there, whether they're functional reprints or alternate art or whatever the case? Or is it just going to be, it's a free-for-all. You get what you get, make it work. But I think it opens up for deck building creativity. And honestly, not to be a whiny Blue Steel player, but it has been rough figuring out where to go when we lost our main engine. And I think that's a unique experience that we've had as the people that have been playing it for a long time recently. And so if rotation were to happen, a lot of other decks and other players would kind of go through the same thing, and you really have to dig deep. I'm flipping through cards from like set one that I haven't looked at in forever, trying to figure things out. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think?
So I'll expand. So I've been talking about rotation a bit lately on my channel, and I actually, if it happens, this is kind of how I foresaw it coming, because the story seems to be written in 4-set blocks. So it kind of made sense that if it started with Fabled, then the first chapter through Ursa's Return would go. Typically, how I thought they were going to do it is if you look at a lot of products, especially the single player decks, they seem to have older cards in them. And so I thought maybe that's how they're going to do it. Or traditionally with a lot of as Jeff said, there's either like base sets, or you sometimes get side sets where they have like you, for example, they do like reprints that way a lot through stuff like that. I don't know, maybe that's something we're going to do. But I mean, also like as most of you know, one of my favorite decks is of course Brooms. If rotation happens, Brooms is gone basically, because everything needed for that deck is gone.
Then maybe we get new Brooms.
You are, trust me, I definitely want them, but I mean, you know, so I mean,
more sassy Brooms.
Yeah,
sassy Brooms.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, because it seemed like initially they were going to go with a Forbidden Limited / errata list, because they kind of set that precedent, but then it sounds like rotation potentially could happen. So I don't know.
I think from other TCGs, rotation is always healthier. And so I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm never like afraid of it. I think it gets to a point where I've seen a lot of competitive players just losing steam over the current meta, just because it is getting stale, as it were. So I think as soon as, you know, they had their vegetable soup this morning, they were like, dang, I feel reinvigorated and have new vitamins in my system, and I'm ready to go for this new stuff. So sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes you just eat your vegetables and you move on. And so I think people that are new to TCGs, it's going to be the hardest thing. They've developed a love of a certain deck, of a certain card. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the toughest pill to swallow, is like saying goodnight to some of your stuff. However, what's good about that is Organized Play has a lot of locals that do a lot of thematic rules for their leagues, so you can still bring those favorites. And I think there's a way for us all to engage in the way that we want to. If you want to do highly competitive play, you're going to have to deal with rotations, which you're going to be familiar with anyway. And if you're going to these highly competitive events, you can't use those cards. That's what you're used to. If you've developed a love for your Mufasa deck and you want to go to your locals and play that, there's still an ability to do that. So I think we're not losing anything. We're gaining this ability to have more strategy, have a new way to look at the game, to diversify our tactics. Like you said, us Blue Steel players have been going through it, being like, is it the crossbow? I don't know. Did you try crossbow? Lanterns. Are we back to like not lanterns, but that's still song. We're also going
like a legal
it.
deck.
Is
But,
quickly the answer.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of us have been looking for answers, which we weren't seeing for a while. We were seeing this lull. So I welcome the change because it seems to every single time invigorate new creativity around the game, which has just been really exciting to see.
Yeah, as a new player, Sarah kind of hit the nail in the coffin for me of just like, I don't really know what rotation means, and hearing it like does make me scared because a lot of people know like I have been Amber Steel girly through and through. Like if you're telling me I can't play with my sparkly princesses, like I'm gonna be devastated at first. But I think I can agree with the sentiment of like I have been kind of bored playing competitively like when I do, and it's like even though I do love by Amber Steel, like I do occasionally like venture out because it's like Amber Steel songs, which is what I traditionally play, has kind of had the same shell for a long time, you know, 1-drop Cinderella, 3-drop Ariel, you know, Rapunzel, the same, you know, 4 songs, and it's just like it does get a little boring after a while. That, you know, I am open to change, and you know, hearing that this is fairly common in other TCGs makes it be like, okay, like this isn't too crazy. Ravensburger isn't being like a pick me right now. Not like I'm trying to be different.
Yeah.
So it should be okay. That's pretty much all I really have to say because again, I don't know too much about what rotation really means, and hopefully if we hear more about it soon, they'll explain it in the best terms possible to make us feel like, okay, this is good. And if they don't, then I'm sure plenty of other amazing content creators will explain it in ways for me to understand.
Yeah, you can always count on those experienced folks out there to help clarify the situation.
I was going to say, I was going to piggyback off of that. I've just been kind of like, whatever. You know, like, no preference.
Yeah, Sierra and I, we just get it. We're like, shut up.
You're all like, I can vibe with every adorable cards you throw my way. Like, let's go.
Right, as long as I keep getting cute cards, like,
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, it's over too. Like if rotation happens and there's now like an internal format or whatever you want to call it. If it's support, right? Like sign up into the DLC or whatever the case is. Like give you reasons to play those cards besides locals. And also like if things rotate out, like Along King Zeus is like a great removal card, right? It's 5 damage. Well, maybe in the future we get a different card, different song that does the same thing, but now we've got some cool art. We've got a different, you know, it just kind of changes things up, adds some different flavor to it.
Darkwing Duck will sing it.
Yeah.
You're just telling me that the cards just change outfits, is what I'm hearing.
I feel like that falls right to you.
They just change outfits.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see too, as the game has gone along, even just, you know, in the time that we've had it, how there are like you'll get a new set and then you get a better version of a card that was, you know, from before, or it's like slightly different and it works better with the newer sets. You know, having the older stuff kind of get out of the way might be helpful to, you know, to really bring those cards to the forefront too.
Yeah, I mean, because in your shells, like you have, you know, whatever deck you're playing. I'll use Blue Steel as an example, but like it always started off Hiram Force to a Popsicle, Steel Song, Cindy, your songs, whatever. So then you only are like, okay, well, the new set, there's some cool cards, but I've only got like 2 spots to put cards into.
Yeah.
So it does open that up quite a bit.
Yeah,
As a
it'll be
control
interesting.
player, I'm excited to see all the different ways that I can control your decks, not just trying to think, when is Cindy coming out?
Leave
You
my
get it,
Cindy
Blue Steel
alone.
player. Chris, are we talking about Fabled yet?
Yeah, I have a theory for Fabled, and I'm
Okay.
really
Same.
excited.
We are now, yes. Nice transition. There you go. All right.
I was like,
Here we go.
when can we talk about Fabled? Can you guess what I'm excited for? I noticed part of the artwork for Fabled is that little book icon that we find on the cards. So like on the cards, they have like the little pen for the quote if it was from the book, from the story. And we have that little icon that looks like a book. Like that's the same. They're using that for the artwork for Fabled. So does that mean that Fabled is completely Lorcana base, like in the Fabled era, we're not going to get like actual canon stuff. It will be like all like in the imaginaries.
Oh, like just Lorcana stuff.
Yes.
Like,
Is it the
You see
book
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Is it the book that's from the movie, or is the pin the Lorcana stuff?
Ooh, I don't know.
I
Somebody
think
fact check me.
I think the pin is for like the original Lorcana stuff.
Okay.
Where am I?
That's why I was trying to find a card and see. I was like, which one had it? Because then if it's the book, then it's going to be all actual canon stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know what's happening.
We're all like
Where's my
looking
card?
through stacks of cards.
I know, yeah. I'm
Like,
all these
the
have
only
pens.
facts I
There's a
have
book.
are
So
Yu-Gi-Oh!
the pin is definitely the Lorcana specific.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the book is
Daisy
definitely.
Pilot, same
Yep.
thing.
That's right.
You're so right. So
Yeah.
it has that little book icon, which I
I
find
think that would be really cool. I think there's a lot of, we get a little bit of lore and stuff with each set, but there's not a whole lot. It would be interesting to see that really, really developed in the future.
When are we just getting a Lorcana like animated series? I'm saying.
I know. Okay, but I have a theory that I need you guys, I need opinions on, because maybe I'm
Let's go.
crazy. So with the whole lore cast, they've been like, oh, we're starting like the second chapter, the next chapter. Is it next chapter or second chapter? Is what they're
Next
saying.
chapter.
Next chapter.
Next
Yeah.
chapter.
Yeah.
But the only time that we've like referenced chapter is the first chapter. And so, they're entering like their next chapter era. And I was talking to Missy Enchanted about this because like her and I like to come up with little story theories. And how all of like Lorcana right now has been very focused on Brave Little Tailor Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, we already seen for Fabled the artwork for the promo type stuff where it's like Mickey and Minnie, and he's in his Brave Prince costume or his Brave Prince outfit, which is from the same short. And so I'm wondering if like we're kind of done with like our BLT era. He's out of here. That's first chapter, and our next chapter is gonna be the prince, and like if he's gonna be used as like our hero for like this next era of Lorcana. So like if we get like new promo cards, like like
Prince
the
Golden Mickey. Prince Golden Mickey.
Yeah.
Holding.
like that's what I'm thinking. Or it's like he's like how they have like for all the D23 stuff, it usually features like BLT, like the D23 pen, or like he's on the D23 box, like one of the 6 cards you can get. So like what if it's like a new like what if that's the new card and artwork that's featured for everything is like a specific version of that prince.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, especially if we get into we're gonna enter, I believe, like if we're looking at like how Lorcana releases things, this like Fabled should theoretically release around the 2nd anniversary of Lorcana being released. So like we should have theoretically, hopefully, like a new anniversary pen. And like, what if it's like the Prince outfit instead of BLT? I don't know.
Dude,
I just like to notice little fashion things like that.
It's really cool to see, all the little details, that people pick up on this stuff. And, that's why I had so many people here tonight, because I wanted all these different perspectives and all the little different nitpicky things that, that we've all noticed about this. Because they've been known to hide little things, I mean, with the Ursula stuff, we had no idea what was going on until, that set kind of came out. And then it's like, oh, we go back and look at these cards from the first chapter.
Right. And you see
they had
all
little
the
things woven
Yeah.
in there.
like, oh, we all make little hand motions. Like,
I know, the
yeah, all
little
the
tendrils.
I was Detective Mickey.
right,
Yep.
Detective Mickey.
Yep.
I kind of hope with Fabled we get a lot of the like old school style characters. Like so we
Yes.
like the old school like Clarabelle's. They could do the run the gamut honestly with the classic characters.
More
yeah.
Oswald.
Oswald. Yes.
More Oswald.
Yeah, Oswald,
Hortensia.
Hortensia.
His little homie in crime.
Right, or like Sierra said too, like the classic Disney movies, so like Dumbo would be so cute and Fabled. Like it kind of fits this like pastel circus theme fair type vibe that like Fabled's giving.
Do you think we're
Yeah.
getting a Cauldron and Fabled?
Potentially, yeah.
It was supposed to be this year, right?
Yeah, I feel like
It's
that set
fair.
matches.
Yeah.
It could match, yeah.
That would be around Halloweeny time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney's version of Halloween.
Yeah.
Which starts in
Right,
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want some of the
Not so
some song
scary.
cards from the old shorts, like the Donald and Huey, Dewey, and Louie, like Halloween one. I can't remember the exact
Oh,
name.
yes.
Oh, where it's like the ghost, the devil,
Yeah, it's
and
like
like a
Trick or Treat.
pumpkin. Yeah, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, or like the OG
Skeleton
ghost.
dance.
Skeleton
Yeah.
dance would be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That's a great song to sing.
If
Yeah.
you did dance, I think everybody would have a heart attack.
Skeleton dance.
I would even
like-
settle for Potato Land, even though it's new.
Potato Land.
You remember the old short, the Through the Looking Glass or Through the Mirror? I can't remember the name.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and there's like all the
Mirror.
playing cards, right?
Yeah, Fabled matches right in that art style too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many of the old classic stuff that it would just like mesh just really, really well. And there's tons to pull from even back then too. So
Anything from Silly Symphony.
Oh
I
man,
used to love those. Would be
that's
it's going to be interesting. And then after that we've got Pixar and stuff coming around. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Any guesses on what the first franchises might be for that one?
Obviously, Toy Story.
It's gotta be Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're probably wrong if they don't do Toy Story.
Yeah.
They're probably
It's going to be Inside Out.
Yeah.
I could see Monsters Inc. maybe making it quickly,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
Cars.
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 I
Yeah.
could see Incredibles too. That's a pretty popular one.
Yeah,
Like a pretty
Yeah.
like you think
Yeah.
Pixar, it's one of the ones you think about.
Yeah.
Or like Finding Nemo could also
Mhm.
be.
watch me, Good Dinosaur.
Duh!
Oh, no.
Good Dinosaur. I don't think I've ever seen that movie in full, if I'm gonna be honest.
Is Luca Pixar? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Luca would be so
would be
good with shifts. So you shift his human form onto his sea
Oh.
monster form.
Mhm.
Okay, same idea, but with Coco and like
Okay.
They're-
Ooh, Living
they're like-
Dead.
Living Dead and like
Yeah.
their like human forms.
Love
And like
it.
they would all have to be singers, right? Or majority of
Yeah,
them like
yeah.
musician
Yeah.
singers.
Yeah.
So I could have a new Amber Steel deck.
There you go. There you
There
go.
it goes. Comes back around. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Luca's like a new mechanic, like the Magic or the other card games where you like flip the card back and forth when you shift.
Mhm.
Miguel can't sing if the grandma's in play.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
the version of the
Music.
Ursula card that like makes it where you can't sing.
Yep. Because she'd be like, nah, shut it down.
Speaking
Instead
of
of
which,
glass slippers, it's shoes that they fix over at their little shop. The possibilities are endless.
but speaking of which though, do we think there's gonna be any new kind of going back to like Reign of Jafar and Fabled, like any new mechanics we might see? Because we got like hints of like illusion in this last set, but like
Mhm.
there were only maybe like 3 cards I believe that
I
had
do-
that.
I mean, since I saw those when we knew Jafar was coming next, like I feel like there's definitely more illusion stuff coming because it's
Mhm.
kind of like fits the set, right?
Right. But do we think there's gonna be any other like potential mechanics that might pop into this upcoming set or Fabled, or like any like, ooh, these would be fun mechanics if we saw? I feel like every set they introduce like 1 to 2, or at least like 1 or 2 new things, and I'm like, I wonder what we'll see.
I mean, they definitely caught us off guard last time with like the universal shift and like the puppy shift and stuff.
Mhm.
Right. And then of course we had like Dual Ink. That was like the big thing.
Do we think locations are back?
Yeah, we haven't had them, huh?
I
Because
don't
the dual
know.
they took off the
Yeah.
dual link spot.
I mean, are they going to keep with the dual links though, or are they going
I
to
don't
bring
know.
some kind of balance back to things?
I think they've got to have more dual links. They can't
Yeah.
just give us one set of them and be like, and you're done.
Did we
Yeah.
get any?
Well, I don't know. They did that with Sing Together, where it's like we got like one set of them.
True.
Did we?
Which maybe that could have a comeback this set because people are working together to defeat Jafar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
These are the questions.
I know. It's fun. It's fun to speculate like this, you know.
Yeah.
Random speculation. Who's the next
absolutely.
big bad guy?
Yes.
Who's the next big bad? Hades. I feel like there's too much.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
like led up to like.
Please, Hades.
Like
There is
Hades?
that card with a paragraph of lore on it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I need an explanation for the queen, which like I feel like Sierra would enjoy this. Of like why do we have like all these cards where like the queen's like plotting, like she has this one card where it's like 6 queens all together in a
Yeah.
council room, which is like that's me when I have like internal meetings with myself.
I want the queen to be on the meta. Like that's like I need some cards to do that with.
Right, but she definitely has the potential to be like the next big bad. But like how many cards she has, and like cards specifically of her, like doing stuff, like do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of goes back to that whole like setting things up as they go through the sets, you know? Like there could be stuff in Ursula's that relates to some of the Jafar stuff, and then some in Shimmering Skies that relates to Fabled, or you know, there's all sorts of possibilities. Yeah, I know. But there's
They're
so
like,
many
"Let me
cards to
look
think about.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna look at cards.
You have the queen that's plotting. You got the Hades lore drop. I think it was in like set 3 or 4 on that one card.
Yeah, he had like a whole thing.
Could always be a new villain that hasn't been in the game yet.
It's true. It seems like they've stuck with some of the classics so far, you know, kind of right around the same Disney era. But I mean, that's no reason they have to, you know, or nobody's saying they have
I
to.
would like for it to be Hook.
Yes.
Look, yeah.
It's my
Where's rules of villainy when we need them to tell us like what's the lore on the villains?
I know. Need to have a bigger one next time. Bring in more people.
Chaos.
In what order are they defeated in the Kingdom Hearts franchise? That's my guess.
Well, there was a theory of like the rules of villainy flavor text too, and that's been debunked, right? Like the order of those.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is just as good a theory.
But we had the magical Donald. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That's why I'm starting to be like, I don't know.
It's Frollo.
Frollo.
Yeah.
With all these puppies, it might be Cruella.
Ooh.
We
We're
do
getting
have
a lot of
of
puppies
puppies.
energy.
When will we hit where like puppies is meta, like tier 1 puppy deck?
It is already. It's a sleeper hit. No, everyone's just too scared to bring it to get laughed at. But to tell you what, I bet
it's a
you
good
it is.
deck.
Just ask Brando.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right,
Brando would be
Brando.
happy. Yeah.
I officially hit my 101 Dalmatian. Although everyone wanted to collect their 99 puppies, I got 101.
You went extra.
I did. Just in case, you know. I had to collect a foil one, you know.
Of course, as one does.
One to rock, one to stock, you know. Keeping it real.
Wait, do you have 101 of foil ends?
No, they're a combo. It's a mixed pack of foils and regulars.
Okay.
I have one foil of each, basically. And then, well, I actually have like 20-ish or foils, but I like made sure to have like these ones are set aside, and then have my playable 99. But I wish they were all foil. That'd be rad.
Yeah.
I guess that's my next step, I guess.
Do you guys remember when the puppy tail wagger was like revealed in Discord, and they were like, "Here's the tail wagger, the first one," and then Rochelle, it probably lasted like 30 minutes. She's like, "Oh, I have another card," and everyone hype up, and then it'd be like the alternate art, and she did that for every single one.
Yeah.
So good.
It's like, wait, there's one more. Probably someone was like, "There's 99."
99 versions of
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You showed 4 at this point, so I mean, I'll take whatever.
No, we don't have an enchanted puppy yet, and I feel like that's kind of a mess. Maybe Reign of Jafar.
I'd be a menace trying to collect 99 enchanteds.
Oh,
Imagine shuffling that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd take that on. I got 4 enchanted Tamatoas this set pretty early, and then 2 weeks later.
Just a subtle flex.
Yeah. It's like, not only do I have 4, but I got them before they skyrocketed.
No, I mean, but I got them, and then like 2 weeks later, I can't. Like the deck's dead.
Then yeah, and then it's like,
okay.
yo, yeah. You're gonna like, I'm gonna take it to set champs. No, you're not.
I think I might be out of my blinging out my deck era at this point.
Yeah, you're like, it's too painful.
Nice. Well, okay. So I'm sure we could keep this chaos going for forever and speculation about the future of the game, but I do want to bring it back. And I asked y'all before we started recording to think of the answer to my last question here. So the game's come a long way in the last year or so. The community's really grown up around it. You all are evidence of that, content creators, in your own rights. I am curious about what your favorite memory related to the community or, the game, playing the game, anything like that, what it is over the past year. And we'll start with Sarah, and then she can hand it off.
For me, I would have to say taking a big leap to be a judge was daunting, and I was brave and I did it. And at the time, I thought it was like a selfish endeavor, but since doing it and being like public facing about it, I've had people say like, I am encouraged to become a judge and do hard things because I saw you do it. And there is a judge who she is phenomenal. She judges ICL and it does a lot of stuff. And she did say like, because I saw you on podcast talking about being a judge, like I felt like it's her first TCG. It's her first foray into like judging big events, and that she kind of like felt brave because I made it seem like it's approachable. And so for me, that was huge, just to know that people feel welcome in this space just because of what we all do by being brave and it's like, it's not easy to be in front of people all the time and be like open to criticism that people welcomely give. And so I just feel like for me in the community, I get a lot from it. I get a lot of energy. I love being at these events and I feel like I'm taking a lot. So to hear that I'm able to make people feel like they can be a part of something too was like the biggest thing that I took away, was like to feel that the community is building off of each other and that we're like supporting each other's endeavors has been a huge thing. So I will hand it off to Kim, my often cohort in crime and someone I lean very heavily on and then we commiserate over cookie dough ice cream with. So I will hand it off to one of my favorite community members.
Yay. Thank you. I think for me, one of the biggest things was Quest in the Park / Disney Lorcana champ. Sarah, what's the full name? Already forgot.
The Disney Lorcana North American Championship.
We're gonna call it Nationals. But that I think was like a really big milestone for me, that it's like, oh, what I do as like a content creator and being part of the community and posting the content that I do and interacting with people goes beyond like what I thought. Because like throughout my first year of like creating content and like being part of the Lorcana community, I've done things kind of similar to Sarah, where it's like I push myself out of my comfort zone, because I very much believe that if you want something to be done and it's not being done, you kind of have to do it yourself. And so I kind of felt that a lot with the I've done like the Lorcana Princess Tea parties, where it's like it's a safe space for specifically marginalized genders to get together, hang out, meet each other, and play Lorcana socially. And that like really helped foster this like group of people in my local area to feel more comfortable going to League, because like they made friends from that. And in turn, like the content I make on social media is very much like, oh, be unapologetically yourself, specifically like if you're super girly, like don't be afraid to be like that at your locals, and like go to set championships like with your mini ears and like in your favorite dress, and going to like quests in the park and nationals and really focusing like on the social side and working these events as like part of like organizing and like tournament stuff has really helped people feel comfortable to come and ask me any questions and like be like, oh, like because of you I feel comfortable going to these events, because similar to Sarah, it's like, oh, I see someone like me and it makes me feel like I can do these things. Um, and it's just like, especially, doing things to me that feel very important in like a social aspect, because that's what I really love about Disney Lorcana is more the social aspect and making it feel like this is a game for everyone, not just like super, super competitive people, because sometimes it can feel that way where it's like, oh, it's too much and I can't do anything because I'm not the best player either. So it's like, oh, it just helps a lot to feel like I'm helping, making a difference, and making everyone feel like they can play the game and be part of the community.
Nice.
And I'll pass it to Jeff.
All right. So this is kind of tough. A lot of great memories and thoughts back since started playing Lorcana, and it's hard to pinpoint one, but I mean I'm going to echo some of the same sentiments. A lot of it is related to the community. From sitting down locally with players who were like brand new, they come in with starter decks and like teaching them how to play, and building them up to like going to my first competitive event, which was a Charlie's event, and then to the Atlanta DLC. To then going to Seattle and some other ones. But every time you go to one of those events, like you get to see faces you've recognized, that you've met, you meet new people. And honestly, I just kind of say overall, like community is the big part of it. I like playing competitively. I also like playing socially. But for me, even if I go to a tournament and I'm not doing well, it's just about hanging out with everybody at that point. So like I can go, and I know some people go and they go X2 and they're like, oh man, it's terrible. I still have a great time no matter what. Just hanging out with everybody, meeting new faces. And sometimes, you meet somebody and then like 6 months down the road, you're at a different tournament and they're like, hey, you're so-and-so from before. We're like, yeah, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And the community is just awesome. And it's hard to pinpoint one memory so far. But it's been a great time with Lorcana so far. And then I will kick it to Sierra again.
I would have to say, not to sound redundant, but it's obviously the community. Obviously we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. And it's hard because I only got to do one DLC, and I had, like I said, planned to go to nationals, but decided to wait for Worlds, and I'm picking myself now because it's like it's the most exciting part, but it's also the part that I'm like missing out of the most because I don't have a ton of locals here that are super invested in Lorcana. It seems that they're more on other TCGs, and so I don't have a ton of not support, but just like community that I can face to face with other than on socials. And so those DLCs are really where I'm like, oh, I want to see friends. Like I want FaceTime with these people that yeah, we hit each other's DMs, or oh, do you have this card, or all those different things. And that's what people really do, is like, especially when you're newer, they're like, hey, do this, do that. And I love that. And yeah, so it's definitely the community for me. But Ravensburger, Disney Lorcana, if you're listening, we want to see each other in real life, so. And obviously, Thanos, come on.
Yeah. All right. So for me, the past year, outside of obviously starting this version of my channel, is DLC Las Vegas. Since that was the last one that I was at. So I've known Jared, Citizens of Lorcana, since the very start. So getting to meet him, James, McKim, and Sarah there, along with other people, just getting to talk to my peers and other people in the community, actually getting recognized several times throughout the weekend was pretty surreal, quite honestly. So I guess branding's working. But yeah, just how much like support this community has for each other, and not just content creators, has been a big thing coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, especially. That's not the case. So yeah, I mean, you talked about Brando earlier. He plays puppies. I had extra puppy foils. I just sent him his way just because, It's just we just do things like that to like always take care of each other. So
Yeah, when Kim brought up Quest in the Park, I was like, it really was such a magical time. And I was really looking forward to doing that again in Disney World. And
Yeah.
it was a gut punch to be like, yeah, if you look back on my Instagram back, I think it was like maybe my third or fourth post, way back, and it's what I used for my profile picture, but it was me like basically hugging Spaceship Earth at Epcot and being like, I wish we had a tournament at Disney World where all the Illumineers came together and competed. I'm gonna cry about it because I really was like, can you imagine a world that this exists? And then we got that news, right? And so Kim, I, Rebecca, Liam, and Aaron all organized Quest in the Park for Disneyland for nationals to make sure we'll just call it nationals to make Disney Lorcana North American Championship. And we really seeing everyone come together and play Pack Rush and pull Enchanteds like in the park. And I am in love with the park. If anyone knows me, knows like I'm in love with Disneyland on a level that I can't even explain. And I really was like, we're gonna do this again at Disney World on like a bigger scale, and it is like heartbreaking to not have it. But it was one of my. I talk about like, you know, the community being welcome into Lorcana as like my favorite community memory, but really, Quest in the Park is by far one of my favorite memories of the game.
But it's like all of those people. Yeah, the group picture.
Yeah.
And
it was
everyone
really
together. Something special. It really was. And I really want to see that again. See people playing in the park because I feel that's where Disney magic really, really lives. Park people get it. People who are not park people don't get it. I mean, if you cry at seeing the castle, like you get it. And I really was gonna like have those moments with all of my Lorcana Imagineers, people that get Disney on a level that I get it, you know, and that's why I love this community is everyone seems to get it at a level where you have like an entire wall of like memorabilia, like, you know, like we all like we're on a different level. So yeah, I was really looking forward to having that moment. I really hope they have a plan B that makes it up for us. Right. It couldn't pull it off for World, right? We couldn't pull it off for these competitors. We couldn't make the competitors keep waiting for this event, and they had to get taken care of, and that I honor, and I respect them for that. But I really do hope that they do something else to make it up for us.
I do appreciate when y'all did the Quest in the Park, the social media updates and all that, because the FOMO was very real. And like the social media updates were, and you know, one day we'll probably be able to do it.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. If not, we just do our own. We don't need Worlds. We're just like, nope. Big
do our own
community
fan base event. But yeah, just like having everyone travel there to like want to do side events and things like that is just like such a perfect storm of like making sure everyone can be there together.
I know when we took over. Let's hear go.
Maybe it's gonna be on the cruise.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Disney Lorcana cruise. So good.
I see Sarah plotting over there.
I've been.
She's been.
You just wait.
She's
It'll be a treasured moment.
All right, well, cool. Well, thanks for sharing those with me. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and wrap things up and tell people where they can find y'all.
Chris, aren't you gonna share?
You have to give.
Yeah, Chris, you have to share.
No, see, I ask questions.
No.
It was like this now.
Okay.
It's chaos.
This is chaos.
I'm not
gonna rules.
Okay. All right. So obviously the community is a huge aspect of it, right? You know, that's one of the things that's really kept me, you know, playing the game and kept me in all of this, and you know, wanting to create this content and wanting to get to meet so many amazing people. You know, I don't think, honestly, I've never met anybody in this community that I've been like, hey, do you want to sit down for an episode? Or, you know, hey, I need some help with this or understanding this. Because, you this is my first TCG too. And so sometimes, you just need a little help, right? But, having so many amazing people that I can reach out to, and get that help, or even just, commiserate with about, bad news in the community, just to have those people there is amazing. As far as like a specific kind of thing, um, going to the Atlanta DLC was an amazing experience. I think I had done like, small time, local kind of things before that. And maybe a little bit more. Like I did play Magic kind of back in high school, and so I went to a couple little things there. But walking into that room and seeing all of these other people there, just super excited to be there to play the game. Whether they were there for the side events, there for the main event, or and it was just like the energy in the room was so cool. And I don't think, regardless of however many events I go to in the future, I don't know if I'll ever feel that initial kind of, you walk in and there's just this vast room full of people, all there because they love the game. They love the same game that you do. And it's just, it was such a cool feeling. So there you go.
You gotta see the Illuminary. It's a thing. It's a whole
Oh,
experience.
why don't we have the Illumineer yet?
Can I
They
ask
gave
a
us-
speculation question?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the announcement for Tuesday, starts at 9 o'clock. It says announcements at 10. What are we doing for an hour?
Groove into that sweet music that they play.
You're gonna be watching me and Kim and Missy Enchanted doing our live reaction for my Twitch channel. That's what you'll be chatting with us, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the party is. So
Right.
you're welcome.
That's definitely where I'll be.
Yay.
That is what we're doing.
Shameless plug. But no, I really believe they're gonna just be doing like trivia and games and stuff. They better be. If they're not, here's free ideas. Can you imagine like that whole hour just engaging the community? What a wonderful idea.
It's just the Lorcana music.
It's just
we're
the
just there,
the luminary. The brooms are still cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you throw in Sassy Broom. He's cleaning like no one's watching.
But we're all watching.
Is Sassy Broom currently on a card? Am I missing a card here?
Sassy Broom is the card that like it's the broom that like has their hands like this.
Oh.
And it says clean like no one's watching.
And it's my favorite broom card because I've always called it Sassy Broom.
It is
nice.
Oh, I'm trying to find it. I have my broomstick right.
You have your broomstick. You're ready to go.
I'm ready. But it's not.
You know what
ready.
I want them to announce? I think Jeff, you were there for this. Mac Money Sack.
Mac Money Sack. Yeah.
You know, announce Mac Money Sack and
Can you please tell the back lore of Mac Money Sack, please?
Oh, Mac Money Sack?
No, I know it. I just want Kim to tell it.
One day I was in like the Club Casual Discord opening German packs of Lorcana, and we came across this gem called Mac Money Sack. Which what's the OG name of that card? Because I can't remember.
Flintheart Plum Gold.
Yeah.
Not as cool as Mac Money Sack.
It is not.
And so now it just became this like meme of like Mac Money Sack is the best card in Lorcana.
It truly is.
I still need my Mac Money Sack foils.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go around and tell everybody where they can find you and your amazing content. Sarah.
Are we starting with me? Okay.
Sure.
Hello. Me again. You can find me on Instagram at LorcanaLibrarian or X as LoreLibrarian because they like things to be shorter. And also on YouTube at the Lore Library Podcast. And I will be on Twitch at the Lorcana Librarian as well. So however you like to get your social media, like I got you. So
Nice. All right, Kim.
Okay. I'm enchanted_Kim on pretty much all socials. TikTok, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Discord, all the stuff. But primarily on Instagram, that is where you'll find me the most. And yeah.
Nice. Sierra?
Same. I'm LoreIllumineer on everything except for Blue Sky and X. I'm even on Threads.
Oh.
People still
You're
use
better than
Threads?
me.
All right, Jeff.
AdditionalInk on YouTube. It's kind of our main platform at the moment. Blue Sky, Instagram, X. We hope to be launching Twitch soon. You can find me personally in the Discord. It's Ninja Harley. Usually says AdditionalInk behind my name. If you need anything, I'm usually around some form of fashion.
Jason?
All right. So YouTube, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, Discord, all Lorcana Thanos.
Solid branding.
Yeah, you picked a nice short one. I went too long.
Hold on. I also have like a closing statement. I need to know. Wait, no. I'll wait till we're done with the episode.
Okay.
Just edit that out.
Like post-recording?
Yeah, post-recording. Yeah.
Okay.
Chaos.
All right. Well, then we will call it. Stop the chaos. So, anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I had a blast. I hope you did too. And yeah, we'll see you around the community.
Bye.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining me for my crazy chat with this amazing group of community members. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what you heard, make sure to like, rate, and subscribe on your platform of choice. You can find more information about the show at LorcanaChats.com, or you can reach us at LorcanaChats@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.